These days, private planes are more affordable than ever. If you've been looking for a private jet, take a seat and let's look at the cheapest private jets out there. Prices can change quickly because of the high demand for private jets these days, but these will always be the cheapest. Let's start with the first jet, the Honda jet. Since 2015, Honda Aircraft has been making the HA420 Honda jet, a light business jet. It is the first plane that Honda has designed and built. You can call it a light jet, private jet, personal jet, small jet, or anything else with the word jet in it. Except for jetliners, haha. It's the only very light jet with a lavatory, and its nose section looks like a pair of nice shoes. The over-the-wing engine mount is also one of its most unique features. A lot of the time, I think that plane makers are just copying each other, but the Honda jet is different from other jets. The Honda jet's over-the-wing engine mount configuration was made to make the most of space by getting rid of the structure needed to mount engines on the back of the fuselage. The Honda jet has a lot more space inside the cabin than other jets because the engines are not attached to the body of the plane. It has two GE Honda HF120 turbofan engines that burn a total of 104 gallons of fuel per hour and put out about 2,000 pounds of thrust each. The Honda jet is the fastest business jet in its class, with an Elite S model's top cruise speed of 485 miles per hour at 30,000 feet. It can go as far as 1,437 nautical miles, and its cabin can fit 6 people, plus 1 or 2 pilots. The Honda jet can be bought for $4.5 million, but the Elite version costs about $5.2 million. Another option is to look for a used jet, which can be found for $2.5 to $3 million. The Embraer Phenom 100. The Phenom 100 is the cheapest jet that Embraer, which started making planes in 2008, sells. Embraer calls the Phenom 100 an entry-level private jet, which is exactly what it is. It also has cutting-edge technology. There is a lot of style, comfort, performance, and dependability in the Phenom 100. It is driven by 2 rear-mounted Pratt & Whitney Canada turbofan engines that put out 1,730 pounds of thrust each. This lets the Phenom 100 reach its top cruise speed of 460 miles per hour. The Phenom 100 can fly up to 1,178 nautical miles. The best thing about this jet is that about 20% of the body is made of composite materials. This makes it a little lighter, but it also gives it a great strength-to-weight ratio. The structure will last for 28,000 flight cycles, or 35,000 hours. This jet has the highest and widest cross-section in its class. With just 1 crew member, it can fit up to 7 people, or 4 people in a normal arrangement. This jet has more head and leg room than its rivals because its fuselage has an oval cross-section, which is a new design. With 11 interior design collections to choose from, you can really turn the plane into your own luxury paradise in the sky. The manufacturer also says that the Phenom 100's windows are the biggest among entry-level light jets, so every passenger can enjoy plenty of natural light. On the used market, early models cost between $1.5 million and $2 million. If you want to buy this jet brand new, it costs about $4 million. The Stratos 716X. I don't know what the company that made this jet is doing, but it's an absolute game changer. It was being worked on long before many of us fell in love with flying. Not only will it shake up the market for single-pilot jets, but it will also be better than the Cirrus Vision jet, which means it will have trouble when it finally goes into production. That's just a guess, though, because the Cessna TTX versus the SR-22 shows that speed and range aren't always enough to win. So Stratos Aircraft should better parachute the 716 if they want to win. Okay, enough with the blah blah. The 716 is the same as the 714, but longer and bigger to carry more people and cargo. It is sometimes called the rebranded 716X. This jet was made with the owner-operator in mind, with a focus on simplicity and calm flying to make it easy to use. The Stratos 716X's engine power works close to the plane's center of gravity, which helps meet the design goals of being easy to control and requiring little work from the pilot. Because the Stratos 716X is a very light. This jet has the speed and range of a high-performance twin-engine light jet and the short field takeoff range of a single-engine turboprop aircraft. The Pratt & Whitney Canada JT-15 D5 engine powers this jet, which can run at 460 miles per hour. With full fuel and a few people on board, the 716 can go about 2,000 miles, but at full payload, it can only go 1,356 miles. The 716 can only be bought as a kit right now, and it takes about 2,500 hours to put together. It will cost you about $2.5 million for everything. The Cessna Citation Mustang. This is one of the most affordable private jets out there. The Citation Mustang is best for shorter trips. The Mustang's cabin is the smallest in its class. It's 9.8 feet long, 4.6 feet wide, and 4.5 feet tall, for a total volume of 210 cubic feet. 4 people can usually fit comfortably inside, but up to 6 people can be seated. It has oval windows and leather club seats that can be leaned back. You feel like you're inside a high-end sporty car instead of a small light jet. 2 Pratt & Whitney Canada PW615F turbofans were used that put out 1,460 pounds of power each. Its top speed is 391 miles per hour, but it can go as fast as 483 miles per hour if you turn the throttle up. Its range is over 1,343 miles. The service ceiling is 41,000 feet, so you can fly over bad weather. The cockpit has a Garmin G1000 electronics system, which is one of the best out there. You can only buy a used Mustang from Cessna after 2017. The price will depend on the year it was built and range from $1 million to $2.5 million. Before we move on, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button to never miss out on the latest and greatest in the world of luxury. The Eclipse 500. It's the first very light jet in the world, and it came out on the market in 2006. At that time, Eclipse Aerospace sold it for only $500,000. Their goal was to make jets as cheap as possible, but their dream only lasted a short time because the company went out of business. Because of a lack of money, Eclipse 500 production stopped in October 2008, only 2 years after it first came out on the market. The cabin of this jet is pretty small and looks like the cabin of an automobile. It is 12.3 feet long, 4.7 feet wide, and 4.2 feet tall, giving it a total cabin volume of 109 cubic feet. It can comfortably fit 4 people, but in its most basic form, it can fit 5 people with 1 pilot in the cockpit. This jet has Pratt & Whitney Canada PW610F turbofan engines that can take it up to 1,294 miles and 430 mph at its fastest. This makes it great for trips of 800 to 1,000 miles. This jet isn't being made anymore, so the only way to get one is to buy a used one for less than $1 million. However, prices can change quickly because of the high desire for private jets right now. The Cirrus Vision Jet. Right now, this is the smallest and cheapest private jet you can get. It is only 30.7 feet long and has wings that are 38.7 feet wide. The closed-off cell is 5.1 feet wide and 4.1 feet high. It has room for up to 7 people. The cabin, the second row, and the third row can all fit 2 people. There is an extra seat slide between the second and third rows, but the third row is only big enough for kids. The SF-50 is the best light jet because it is the first jet to have a protective parachute that goes around the whole plane. The Vision Jet is powered by Williams FJ-33-5, a turbofan engines that produce 1,846 pounds of thrust. This lets it cruise at 358 miles per hour and has a range of 1,381 miles at full fuel. If you fill up the seats, you'll need to carry less fuel, so the range drops to 690 miles, making it perfect for very short trips. For the first generation model, the price starts at $1.9 million. For the G2 model, the price starts at $2.3 million and goes up to $2.75 million with extras. On the used market, you can find one for around $1 million to $2 million. I've even seen one offered for $3.5 million, which is more than what Cirrus charges for a brand new one. That's what rising demand does. If you want to buy from Cirrus, you will have to wait months or even years. The Learjet 60. Learjet 60 is an updated model of the Learjet 55. It has a longer body and stronger turbofan engines. The Learjet 60 has been on the market since 1993. You should choose the Learjet 60 if you want to go faster, take more people, and go farther. This jet needs 2 pilots, which is different from the other planes on this list. It has 2 Pratt & Whitney Canada PW305A turbofan engines, each of which produces 4,600 pounds of thrust. This makes the Learjet one of the fastest climbing jets in the world. It doesn't just take off, it blasts off the runway like a rocket and will reach 41,000 feet above sea level in less than 20 minutes, climbing at a rate of over 4,000 feet per minute. It can go as fast as 532 miles per hour and has a range of up to 2,773 miles. The cabin is 18 inches longer and has more space because the fuselage was stretched 43 inches. The width of the cabin is just under 6 feet, and it's big enough for 8 people, with a limit of 9 people sitting in a row. New, a Learjet 60 can cost between $1.75 million and $3 million. This makes it the cheapest private jet on the list.